my role with VSI, how I, as a financial consultant trying to help you figure out how to pay for college, work with VSI. Well, every school has a different price point. Some are very low cost and some are very high cost. So we find out the sensitivity of cost to the family. And most families are very concerned when they see a $60,000 price tag on the colleges, but of course we don't know whether they're paying 50, 60, 50, 40, 20, or if it's free. So I first work with the family to figure out what the financial aid system thinks they can afford for college, because then we know whether they're on the need-based side or whether they're on the full pay side. And if they're on the full pay side, then we look to see whether that school can offer merit awards for their soccer talent, their sports talents, or their academic talents to reduce the cost of college for that family, because most families do not want to pay list price. So that's how I work with VSI on figuring out where they stand with what they can afford for college. What is the process of financial aid for college, or even addressing the situation of financial aid for college? Well, first, I need to know your background, because every family is unique in terms of their financial situation and how much money they have, and also their student, because a 4.0, 800, 800, 800 kid, the colleges look at a lot differently than a 2.1 student. And there's a school for each one of them, but the combination of the parents' money, their investments, and the student determines what kind of aid that you might get from a school. So the first step that I do is send you a list of questions, and it asks about your finances. And since I'm a CPA, I keep it all confidential, but I need to know all the aspects of your finances because the forms relate to that. And when I see the dollars in your financial background, I can figure out what the system thinks you can afford for college for 1 year. And that's a critical number. It's called your expected family contribution. It tells me what side of the fence you're on for need-based aid, whether you qualify or you don't qualify. And then if you don't qualify, your student becomes important. Of what kind of merit is he going to give to the school? If he's a 4.0, they want him a lot more than if it's a 2.9. So we look at that. And we sit down. After I get all of this information, I probably spend a few hours working on it before we meet, because I want our meeting to be productive. I don't want it to just be fact-finding information and I just sit there with a pad of paper asking you questions. I want to determine what schools are best for you in terms of the, after financial aid cost of the colleges. And also we look at what the student's background is, what kind of major he wants, how far away he wants to go to school, what he wants to study. And we combine the two of them with, the goal is to find colleges that are affordable to your family, that also satisfies the needs of the student in terms of his academics and social aspects of what he's looking for. What kind of relationships do I look for with a client? Well, they have to show me all of their financial life, their income tax returns, their assets, their savings, all of that. But many clients are, we hope that they're all happily married, but there's extenuating circumstances. They could be divorced, they could be remarried, and all of those add complications to it, but there's nothing that is overwhelming that we can't handle. But schools look at different marital statuses also when they are looking at aid packages. So I need to know pretty much everything about them. And so they have to have trust in me to be able to confidentially look at the information and give solid advice of what schools would be best for their financial situation. So I have found that clients are very open about these things because they know it's important. And I'm also a CPA, and part of my license is that I have to keep this information confidential. And we use that to our advantage to figure out what schools are best for their situation. So once we have the clear path of what schools to look at, then along the way, clients call me or contact me so as they have questions, and we resolve them as we go along. And then of course the culmination is applying for schools in senior year, and how I can help them follow on to the very end.